Hi, Chris Madsen here. The Golden Age. There's been so much talk about it through the different ages. A time where there's peace and love and paradise on earth. And astrologically, there's been talk for millennia that when we come into the age of Aquarius, that will be the Golden Age. Many of the religious, spiritual texts and things, they talk about, again, a golden age, a time. And what I do know is that we have everything required for it now. And I also know how we can get there. And so this is very important. Up until now, there's a great deal of suffering that has been in the world. And the reason is, for most of it, if not all of it, is we're collectively around the world based on systems. And these systems are based on competition, corporations, this group against this group, trying to vie for their own, land and properties and becoming wealthy. And as a result of that, corruption and deception and things of that nature have played an integral role, to the point where even now, military, if we just cut out the military spending around the world alone, just that, we could food, shelter, and clothe every poor person for life around the world. So in the golden age that I'm talking about, we recognize that everything now has been brought about through conversations and agreements, sometimes by force. Borders are a prime example. This is this country, and the reality is those are fabrications. The earth does not have borders. They've been created by man. Money is another one that, money in itself is just pieces of paper. It's the value we place on it. So the vision for the golden age is simply this, is every person has their own land, their own sacred ground. This ground is free. There's no taxes, there's no banks to pay a mortgage to. It's yours. While you're journeying on the earth, it's your birthright. And it literally is your birthright. Just like a bird, when it's born, it's got the birthright to go make a nest somewhere. Or a coyote to make a den, whatever. We have the birthright to have our free land. And on this free land, we also have, right now, we have the technologies for free energy. They have been suppressed by this same corruptness that has pervaded the age before us. And so with this free energy, that solves almost all of our problems right there. Because on your land, you are now off the grid. We no longer need, all these grid systems, right? And you no longer paying bills for all of these things. And so with free energy, you can be wherever you want to be. There will be no more poverty. We don't need the borders because it won't matter where you are. If you've got free energy, you can grow your own food. You can sustain a home dwelling perfectly, on and on. And now this goes on to the next thing, which is roads. They tax us, or say we need taxes for roads and petroleum, the oil and all that. We won't need that, any of that. That whole system just goes, pipelines, on and on, simply because with the free energy, that's how we do our transportation. To the point with the free energy that we no longer even require vehicles to be on the ground. They can hover, they can levitate. We have drones that do it now. We're smart people. We can have the technology so we can even let the roads go back, let them be bike lanes, and just let them return to nature, hiking lanes and such. And so as part of the golden age, we can get past this concept that work is a good thing. Jobs is a good thing. Jobs equal slavery. In the golden age, you don't wake up with an alarm clock having to go to work. There is a big difference between being productive and working. Working is slavery. It's our natural tendency when we are fully provided for in an effortless life, where we're not moving in fear and lack, to want to create, to bless, to serve, to be part of a community, helping, tribal in beautiful ways. That's who we are within our beings. And so to bring in the golden age, what we do now is we hold the visions, things what I'm speaking of now, or greater. We hold the visions of what the golden age looks like. And then we express them. We know it's our birthright now. Now, because we're at the crossroads of moving into the golden age, we have friction. And that friction is those consciousnesses that want to keep us into the age of deception and corruption, particularly those that have a lot of power and really get off on controlling others. And because they have their way right now, of course, they're going to use all the deceptive tactics they can, whatever they can do to keep us in this box, in our state that we are right now. But the only power they have is that which we give them by not using our own power, by moving collectively and individually in the visions like I am sharing here. Any of the systems that we have right now are based on this corrupt deception tactics that we've been born into. And so we simply say no to those. We vision better and new ideas, and we move in those collectively. And as other more corrupt forces attempt to stop us, we don't fight them. We simply don't give them any power. A good example is things right now, our food supply. If you go to your typical grocery store, it's full of genetically modified ingredients that they won't even let you know what's what there, and things like uh, toxins, pesticides, poisons, different things like that that are in the food. They're not life-giving food, but yet the corporation that's selling them loves it because they're able to, you know, keep a monopoly and have full power. Things like toothpaste, even. If you go to your typical grocery store, it's loaded with fluoride toothpaste, which we know is poisonous. It's a neurotoxin. It calcifies the pineal gland, which is your connection. It's like your antenna to the source itself. So we simply don't buy fluoride toothpaste. There are so many vibrant foods, shopping local, organic, locally grown, even growing yourself. Things like that are ways that we bring in the golden age, yet we we don't fight, you know, Monsanto or anything. We simply don't give them any power. We don't buy their products. Borders, we keep holding the visions of no borders and sharing that vision that we are one family on one earth. Very simple. Now the governments, all governments on the earth are corrupt. They are not there for your highest good. They are serving corporations and the same power elite that want to keep us suppressed. And so with governments, don't vote. Don't encourage them. The more you encourage them, the more they keep going. You know, your vote does not count by going, you know, saying, I vote for this slave master this term. Rather than voting, vote with your life. Vote with every dollar you spend, everything you say, just like I am right now. I am truly voting right now. We only need one government authority, and that's love. Love is our law, and all other laws are based upon that one law of do no harm. That includes to the environment, that includes to animals, to other people. Every system that we have can come into alignment with the golden age. Let's look at the judicial system, laws. Right now, as we know, the governments say you must obey, do this, 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 and this, and if you don't, we'll throw you in these cells. Rather than that, what we can have is, rather than police, we have peace people. They're trained, they're compassionate. Their role is knowing that if a person is not following the higher law of love somewhere, like if they're being destructive or harmful, there's something wrong within the person. There's something that's not in alignment. They're not attuned. And so rather than just punish them and throw them in the cell, which makes them even angrier and more hurt and more wounded, we deal with healing the person. In the judicial system, we can have people that are very attuned to the wholeness of what a person is. In the prophet, Kahil Gibran speaks about true justice and law and what that means. And that will be on the heart of everyone that's in a role of assisting with making sure that the collective is not being, murdered or raped or whatever. And those people are dealt with in a healthy manner, right? And if a person is in alignment with do no harm, with the universal law of love, there is no other laws. If they want to sleep on a beach or something, let them, and that's fine. If they want to grow marijuana, let them, the education system, we can do far better than having kids having to sit in stale classrooms and learning to simply be obedient, and programmed to when a bell rings to do this, do that, even have to ask to go pee and all of this. Rather than that, we can have way better ways. We can have incredible nature and more community orientated, following the natural rhythms. Education can be an incredibly beautiful thing, a natural thing. Systems of honoring the whole being, such as in the medical systems. Right now, it's basically big pharma has governed medicine, so it's not for your health. They're selling lots of chemicals. Rather than that, we can have true medical systems that look at the whole person, that bring them back into balance in beautiful ways. We can have in the golden age now that there is zero pollution, so that we can have wherever we are, our grocery stores can mainly just be what grows well in those areas. Because the roadways are not full of toxic fumes from vehicles anymore, we can use the roadways and plant foods that work really well there. And the earth itself will come into an attunement, as well as the animals, with our new consciousness. And so the land itself, the rains will come at the right time, and on, because of our balance with it. And so a person can be free to go wherever they want. They've got free energy, why not travel around and see the whole earth plane? The difference between the earth and the world, the earth is the rocks, the sea, flora, fauna, the sky, clouds, mountains. That's the earth. That's our playground. That's our living room, so to speak. The world is what man creates upon it. And so as we change our world, the earth will come in alignment with it. And so how we enter the golden age, in a nutshell, is by changing our hearts. Rather than corruption, greed, fear-based living, believing there's scarcity, knowing that we are here to love. And the source of all life is providing at all times all that is required. One of the deceptions that we have been told is that there's overpopulation. That is a lie that was brought in for their agendas. It's a control freak agenda. It's a lie. Matter of fact, we could have, say, the state of Texas alone would be enough for everyone on Earth to have 1,000 square foot dwelling plus room for things like stores. And that's just a little spot on the Earth, right? New Zealand alone has enough to house and supply everyone like Manhattan. So in Manhattan, in New York, that area, if that were put in New Zealand, we could literally have everybody on the Earth, just in that tiny little speck of land there. There is no overpopulation. That's no concern. We can all have all the land we want, yeah, we can be free. We have to get over this idea that work and careers and going to school for, 12 years and then pick which other indoctrination center you want to go into, to get more filled with lies from the Church of Scientism. We got to break free from all that. And we do it by holding the new visions, by sharing and being these visions. And in every now moment, with every breath, allowing love to infill us, be us, and we send it out. And so all of our conversations are based on how can we love? How can we have a greater expression of love in the world? And our contracts, our negotiations with each other are all based on how can we love? How can we make this the highest good for all? And when we're dealing with the old ways, those systems, we invite and encourage them as well to join with us. And if they refuse, we simply don't give them power. An example is this. With the military, as we know, if we just eliminated the military, we could food, shelter, clothing every poor person for life on the earth. Done. Poverty's over with. And no more blowing the heck out of the earth, right? And the traumas that soldiers, imagine waking up, getting yelled at by, people in uniforms, being told exactly what to do, and then you hop on a plane to go blow people up that you don't even know. That cannot be a healthy lifestyle for them either, right? So we end the military. And how we do that is very simple. If you're in the military, quit, get out, stop, cease and desist. Join the love army. Start an organic co-op, things like that, whatever. There's beautiful visions. And to the whole military industrial complex, we simply don't support it. If you're working for a company that makes bombs or bullets or something, simply refuse to work. On and on. That's how we do it. It's a collective thing. Together we bring in the golden age. Love is far more powerful than the corruption and the deception and the lies that we've been under in that whole energy field. As soon as we turn on the flashlight, as soon as the sun comes, the darkness flees. It no longer has power. That's how we bring in the golden age. And so let's keep sharing visions. I will do this. If you're an artist, have all of your art celebrating and sharing visions of what we can have. Whatever you're prompted to and inspired within, make that an act of love, bringing in the golden age. And with that, I'm with you 100%. This entire life journey, I yield, surrender my entire being to this vision and to love. Please join me. Please share. That's how we get her done.